ready to resume the call. Basically, Gina, do you and your staff have any further questions on this particular agenda item we've discussed for a while? Because
Lubin, are you okay? Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I think we are clear, yes.
I just wanted to propose, just to make sure that we capture it, if we want to put this on the action item list, Dominion's understanding of the issue, and then we make sure that we're clear, so we're not referring to some issue that we talked about and no one has a clear note of what it was.
Well, what I would propose, Mike, for the action item list is that, Manis and Jinsu went through a list, and I thought it was a good one. If they could just document what they said, the FSAR should contain these items and go through the bullets, and then we'll add it to the action item list. And if we have any questions about what they've said, then we can talk about that maybe on December 16th.
Yes, I think that's fine. They're nodding in agreement. We'll generate a document that identifies this concern, and then we'll add it to the actions list, and then we can discuss it on the 16th if we feel there's any clarification needed on your part.
That's great. And I know that some of this information is going to be, it is in the FSAR that you'll be getting in a couple of weeks. Some of it may not be, depending on, we just need to look at what you guys send us to confirm whether we have it or not. But that can certainly be incorporated into either we'll have further discussion or we'll incorporate it into a future revision of the FSAR, okay, to prepare for audit 2.
Okay.
Okay, the last item I think is easy compared to that one.
Yeah, that's update on the status of the uplift calculation.
Yes.
The reactor fuel building and the control building.
Control building and reactor.
Right, so we sent in the reactor building, fuel building calculation. That's in the report that was submitted November 30th. So you should have gotten it maybe yesterday or today. Should be in. Okay. We're sending you hard copies of reports and discs, but there's a lot of information. Okay.
So I didn't see it. That's why I was wondering what happened.
Okay. We'll have to ask.
The new calculation. Sorry, this is James. The new calculation for our BFB, the contact rate is still higher than 80%. Is that true?
Yeah, that is correct.
Great.
Okay, correct.
And then the control building report, you'll get that in December for the last schedule information that we sent you, okay? So that should be in by the 18th or so.
So the calculation for control building also done. It's just need to send in the report.
Correct.
Okay, great.
So you have already sent all those reports that you said you would send it by November, right?
Yes, they were all sent in earlier this week. Our VP signed the letter on Monday, Manis, and so you should be they should be somewhere in your office, and if you're not finding them, please let us know, and we'll get you guys another copy.
I'll pass, Jim.
Yeah, please ask, because these are important.
Ruben, what about the control building? Is that the contact ratio okay?
The control building, basically what we did, just for to make your review easier, we added appendices at the end of the reports that provide more alternative calculations. For reactor building, as I said, we didn't actually, when we assume rigid foundation, we are well below, above 80%. Now for control building, that is not the situation, and we provided justification, rational, that still the results from the analysis are adequate.
Okay, I will look at that. Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you.
Okay, so Gina, are there any other questions on your end?
No, we're good.
Okay, so just to summarize, for item number 1, regarding the stick models, you were going to add an action item to the audit action items list, and for number 2, NRC is supposed to follow up with our own action item to add to the list with respect to what type of FSAR updates are needed with respect to comparison to the DCD on the size of response issues. And for number 3, I'm supposed to take a look and see what submittals we have and what's the holdup from staff getting it. It's possible there's a pre-flight issue. I have no idea. I know I've got to go see Jim Shea on that issue. So,
well, we sent hard copies to the document control desk, Mike, to avoid the pre-flight challenge. So there shouldn't be a problem there.
Okay, I'll have to go see Jim.
Okay.
He may have already taken care of it, but I'll take that as an action on my part to make sure staff gets it as soon as possible.
Okay, that sounds good.
When's your next submittal? You mentioned something in December?
Yeah, it should be signed out on December 18th and heading your way.
That's the next batch of updates?
Right. We actually said December 31st, but we're trying to get them to get them out before the holidays. So it'll be sometime
just in time.
Yeah, I know.
That would be great. We need all the gifts we can get.
Right.
With him.
Okay. Well, Gina, it sounds like we're done with the business portion of the meeting. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So now is the time for any members of the public who are on the line. I know we had 3 people on the line. If you have any specific questions of the NRC regarding today's meeting discussion, and I would just ask that you identify yourselves, and then we'll handle your question accordingly. So now's the time to speak up.
Hey, Michael, can you hear me?
Yes. Look, you're kind of cutting out, but let's give it a shot.
Okay. Well, this is Erica Gray in Richmond, Virginia. I just, for some clarity here, what seismic data are y'all using to develop this seismic analysis in the first place?
Okay, so your question is what type of seismic data are we collecting to make our safety decision on the North Anna 3 application? Is that your question?
Right.
Would you be able to answer? I don't know how to describe that.
Well, that's one of them.
That's what? And then okay, we're going to have one of our technical experts.
This is Jason. I'm a structural engineer from NRO. Within this meeting, all the 4 engineers or structural engineer. The seismic input is handled by a different group of people called the seismologists. I believe the curve uses the GMM 2013. That's the most current curve the NRC has approved. That's how far I can go, because other than that is beyond my expertise domain.
Latest red guide, correct, for the CEUS?
Yes.
Ms. Gray, this is Mike Udy. I know that's kind of high level. I know that we have a red guide that's been out recently that's updated the seismic modeling that's put into that feeds. This is a structural discussion today, but the seismology people are the ones who handle what is all that input itself. The best I could do is point you to other safety evaluations that talk about 2.5. Yeah, we have an SCR section that discusses what we take a look at that might help you understand the question that you have, and then we have some red guides out there that also discuss it. It's a pretty complicated issue, but I'll try to give you that information.
Yeah, I would like to understand that a little bit better, because, I mean, I know we're dealing with a site-specific, and I've been on calls before where it was mentioned that some of the data we were using was actually coming from California. Did I understand that correctly? Or are we going on just the seismic data?
I don't know if I was on that call, but I know that North Anna had previously submitted a model for the early site permit back in the mid-2000s, but since then they've updated it, and the NRC has issued. There's been an updated central and eastern United States model that all applicants in that area would be, we requested that they submit updated seismic models for that, and that is the most recent guidance that we have for applicants on what they plan to submit. And North Anna has been updating their application to reflect that current model.
Yeah, because I read here recently somewhere that Dominion hasn't finished that analysis yet, not until like 2017.
I mean, for the North Anna 3 application, our current schedule would have that information submitted next year, and then we'll be doing our advanced safety evaluation that would have no open items before we make our final safety evaluation that's due in April 2017. So as far as I know, we're on track to get all the information that the staff needs to try to finalize our safety evaluation by October of next year. And so we're getting information now, coming in now and next month and then the next few months. We should have all the information to review by, I would say, first quarter of next year.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, but it just seems like it's kind of backwards if we don't have that information yet. All this analysis and curves and everything's being done without that information ahead of time. I mean, am I missing something?
Well, the analyses are being done. It's a pretty complex task, but the staff, we can't make a recommendation, an advanced safety evaluation, if there's any holes or any open items in anything that North Anna has submitted to us. So all their analyses will be done, my understanding, by third quarter. So I guess I don't quite understand your question.
Well, like I said, somewhere online that I saw that North Anna has not finished their site-specific seismic stuff. And I was under the impression that they're still working on figuring out that data. Am I wrong?
Data. I don't think it's the data. It's the analysis, which is the second part. Once you have the input, seismic input, then you use that to make sure that the plants and structures will be adequate to meet that ground level acceleration or that kind of seismicity at the site. So that part we still have to do.
So the data's been collected. It's now putting it into the reports and then sending it to NRC to make our final evaluation of it.
But yeah.
Well, where is that data that the public can see?
Section 2.5 there, FSAR.
Right, but it hasn't been updated.
Even not updated, but they'll...
You can see what we have in the current FSAR that was submitted, I think, June of this year? June 2015. Most of that information is in the FSAR that has been submitted by North Anna. All the data that they have that's publicly available. Now, current things that they sent us, most of it's publicly available, but there may be things that are proprietary in nature that might not be publicly available. They might have deemed it sensitive. I'm not aware of all that, but
that's the best place for us to go and see.
Right. But right now, they're going to be sending in FSAR updates that will be reflecting all these new analyses that they've been doing with all the new data from the central eastern U.S. model.
So you're telling me that the data they collected, they used from the specific earthquakes and whatnot we had here, or were they also using data from somewhere else?
I guess I'm not the right person to ask that question of, but they, are you speaking of the mineral earthquake?
Yes,
specific?
Of course.
We did ask an REI specific of that issue, I believe, in 2013, I believe. I can get you that information and what their response was, but all indications from North Anna are that they are taking that information as well and working it into the model that they've been using to do their new analyses. I can give you that information if you...
Yes, I would like that information because I'm still it's not very clear to me on, like what the peak ground acceleration or the peak ground velocity is being set at for that North Anna Unit 3 proposed unit. So do you have that data too?
I mean, I could try to take a look to see if I imagine they may have something in their FSAR that identifies, you know, what trips. You know, there's certain different conditions. There's one that trips their recording of an event. There's another that might trip different things in the plant. There might be certain plant reactions. All that should be described in the FSAR, and I'm being told most of that is in Section 2.5 of the FSAR.
FSAR, GMRA.
So how they would react to any type of seismic event should be spelled out in the licensing basis that they're proposing. And we have to review all that first. And then
Okay, well, if you have a, you know, I guess a link or something, Michael, that you can send me, that would probably be helpful.
Okay, I'll take a look at your questions and see if I can send you what their response was regarding the mineral earthquake, and then I can try to take a look at the FSAR and see if I can find some more information for you and give you a link.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Are there any other members of the public on the line that wish to ask the NRC some questions?
David Martin.
Okay, well, this meeting is adjourned. I appreciate everybody's participation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.